Scrolling through the midnight glow, catching secrets that they show. Swipe and tap, we in the know. What's the drama, let it flow. Spill that tea on TikTok feed. Gossip strong, it's what we need. Catch the...
By air, water, and land, tonight authorities are scrambling to find Sudiksha Konanki, a 20-year-old U.S. college student who vanished from this Dominican Republic beach more than 4 days ago.
We talked to her on Wednesday night, that is March 5th night.
Today, her father speaking to local media in Punta Cana, distraught yet grateful for what authorities are doing.
They're really helping us to find our daughter. So far, they have helped us to find in the water, but it's been 3 days. They couldn't find her in the water.
The University of Pittsburgh Jr. was spending spring break here at a Rio resort in Punta Cana when she went missing early Thursday morning. Police say surveillance video showed Konanki and her friends going to the beach area. Eventually, Konanki's friends came back to the hotel, but around 4:15 a.m., police believe Konanki disappeared. Investigators revealing they've interviewed a young man who was also at the beach around that time, but officials say it's not clear if foul play was involved. In a statement, Rio Hotel says it's deeply concerned about the disappearance of one of our guests and is working closely with the local authorities, including the police and the Navy, to conduct a thorough search.
She went to the beach with several people, okay, and she did not come back, and that's a problem.
Jesse, you're outside that resort complex. What more are you hearing?
Yeah, Lester, local media reporting that Konanki's clothing was found on the beach where there were no visible signs of violence spotted. Meanwhile, the sheriff where she's from back in Virginia says today her friends were still being held in the Dominican Republic for further interviews. Lester?
All right, Jesse Kirsch, thank you.
More details about Sudiksha Konanki's disappearance are coming to light as authorities continue to search for the University of Pittsburgh student who went missing March 5th during a spring break trip in the Dominican Republic. A key witness is sharing his encounter with her on the beach. The man, who is not considered a suspect by the Dominican Republic authorities, the Loudoun County authorities have also identified the unnamed man as a person of interest. Loudoun County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Thomas Julia told NBC News that a person of interest, quote, is not the same thing as a suspect, as this is not a criminal matter. It is still a missing person case. The witness shared in the interview that after removing his belongings and putting them on a chair, he and Konanki went into waist-deep water, where they were talking and kissing a little. He said that a big wave came and swept them into the current. He noted, as soon as we were able to surface, we tried to call for help, but there was no one there. The witness explained that after, he looked around and didn't see anyone on the beach, so he thought she grabbed her belongings and left. While 3 Dominican Republic officials close to the investigation told ABC News they believe Konanki died by drowning, no body has been recovered. Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman is determined to find a conclusive answer.
Who is Joshua Stephen Ribe? Let's talk about it. Joshua Stephen Ribe is a 24-year-old tourist from Iowa, and he was the last known person to be seen with Sudiksha Konanki before her disappearance on March 6th. Originally from Rock Rapids, Iowa, Ribe is a former wrestler and football player with Central Lyon High School and a senior at St. Cloud University in Minnesota. He traveled to the Dominican Republic for spring break and was a fellow guest at the same resort as Konanki and her friends. Ribe told police that when he woke up on the beach, Konanki was nowhere to be found. Authorities have not clarified whether Ribe and Konanki knew each other prior to meeting on the island. My guess is probably not. Thomas Julia, spokesperson of the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, said he has been interviewed at length. He also emphasized that Ribe faces no accusations of wrongdoing at the moment, as this is still a missing person case and not a criminal case. However, authorities in Virginia and the FBI have identified Ribe as a person of interest in the case. Sheriff spokesperson Chad Quinn said in an email, "This is not at the time a criminal investigation, so to be clear, he is not a suspect." Officials also said that more than 300 investigators, including officers, specialists, tactical units, and aquatic search teams, were combing the area around the resort. And the National Police said earlier this week they formed a high-level commission to work alongside investigators, according to CBS News. 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki could still be out there. I'm thankful that they still have a very committed search team looking for her, but I'm really hoping we get some more answers in the following days. Again, if you hear any more information or any updated information, please drop it below in the comments. I just want to make sure we're all spreading the most accurate and up-to-date information and hopefully bring her home. Like always, thanks for watching. Hopefully we have an update soon.
Josh Ribe allegedly refused to answer at least 8 of the police's interview questions about the disappearance of Sudiksha, the University of Pittsburgh student that went missing on spring break in the Dominican Republic last week. Although authorities claim that Ribe is cooperating with them, the transcripts from his interview with police reveal that there were at least 8 questions that Ribe refused to answer. Those questions are if Sudiksha knew how to swim, if she made any cries for help, if he told authorities what happened on the beach, how he feels about the situation, if he can verify his statements, and what he told his friend. To all of these questions, Ribe had the same response. My lawyers advised me not to answer that question, and I followed their advice. After giving that answer for all 8 questions, he would then remain silent. It has now been over a week since the 20-year-old college student went missing in Punta Cana.
The American man last seen with missing Sudiksha Konanki claims he saved her from drowning after they kissed a bit in the water on a Dominican Republic beach. Josh Ribe's final moments with Konanki have been detailed in the transcript from his police interview. Ribe told cops he grabbed her and pulled her out as the pair were getting tired. He said the last time he saw her, he'd asked if she was okay, but didn't hear her reply, as he began to vomit from all the water he'd swallowed. The 24-year-old refused to answer several critical questions during his interview, including if Sudiksha could swim, if she cried for help, and what he told a friend after the tragic night.
If you're following this case, there's been a big update. The suspect's family has just released a statement to debunk any claims that he is somehow to blame for
Reeve's parents just issuing a statement this evening, reading in part, "We express our deep sorrow and solidarity of the family of Sudiksha Konanki during this painful time. We share the hope that Sudiksha will be found as soon as possible." His parents also say their son has been fully cooperative, but has, quote, been detained under irregular circumstances and kept under police surveillance in his hotel room. They also expressed concern.
His name is Joshua Reeve. The young man said a big wave swept him and Sudiksha Konanki into the sea, but he helped her get back to the shore. The new details were revealed in the transcript of the interview Dominican Republic investigators conducted.
Obtained exclusively by NBC News of the interview with Joshua Reeve. He's the last person known to have been with 20-year-old University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Konanki. He says he and a friend introduced themselves to Konanki and her girlfriends at a bar where the group drank pink tequila shots, then went to the beach in the early morning hours. He said 2 of Konanki's friends sat on beach chairs, but he says he and Konanki waded into the ocean, telling investigators, quote, "We were in waist-deep water, talking and kissing a little." Next, he said, a big wave came and hit us both, and with the rising water, it swept us out to sea. The investigator asking, what happened next? As soon as we were able to surface, we tried to call for help, but there was no one there, said the young man. Reeve says he then used his lifeguard training to get them both back to shore, adding, "I swallowed a lot of water. I could have lost consciousness several times. When I finally reached the ground on the beach, I pulled her in front of me. She wasn't out of the water as it was up to our knees. She was walking at an angle in the water. The last time I saw her, I asked if she was okay. I didn't hear her answer because I started vomiting all the seawater I'd swallowed." Reeve told investigators after becoming ill, he looked around, didn't see Konanki, and assumed she'd left the beach. He fell asleep there and didn't return to his room until 9:30 that morning. The investigator asking, "How did you find out the girl disappeared?" The witness replied, "My friend asked me if I knew where the girl was. I told him I thought she'd gone to her room, and he told me she never returned." On the advice of his attorney, Reeb declined to answer a number of questions, including what he thought about Konanki's disappearance.
Okay, so what are your thoughts after hearing this? Is the police on the right track, or do they need...
Breaking news in the Sudiksha Konanki case: as a resort worker who has been working there for more than 25 years has come out and given his theory on what happened to her. He starts by saying there are 3 theories as to what happened, and he's gonna immediately debunk 2 of them. First theory is that she drowned, and he says that's not possible because even if she did, her body would have washed back onto the beach almost immediately. He said there's no way she's lost at sea or still under the water because the way the tides and waves are, she would have been brought back at maximum the very next day. He also said the fish over there would not devour an entire body, and even the sharks do not eat humans. He then states the fact that this is a private beach and all the hotels have security guards and cameras, and after 6 p.m. the National Guard comes and patrols the beach, so if there was someone drowning and calling for help, they would have seen. He then starts pulling at the sand on the beach and shows how easily it comes off, and says in about 30 minutes he could make a 5-foot hole, and he's not even athletic. He then states that Joshua is an athlete and could do this a lot quicker, and his theory is that Sudiksha is somewhere under that beach. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Spill that tea on TikTok feed. Gossip strong, it's what we need. Catch the wave and surf with speed. Truth and lies in every deed. Cloud chasers with shady schemes.